welcome to Chile.
Thank
welcome
you.
to Perros y Más. And I will start with a simple question. Considering your large experience, not just as an international judge, but also as a very important handler with lots of achievements, which aspects do you think are the key to succeed in the ring?
The key to succeed in the ring? Well, first of all, if you have an eye for beauty and balance and proportion, and you're able to find a dog that has those qualities, and then conform structurally to its breed standard. Because all standards are written differently. They shouldn't be judged the same way because they're not supposed to move the same way. They're not supposed to act the same way. An Afghan is a very aloof dog that doesn't have to be your best friend, but it doesn't mean it's not a great show dog.
But also in the training, the preparation of the dog.
The preparation is very important. You see, my biggest problem today is most people feed dogs to get them to stand still. So then when you go over the head, the dog falls apart. Nobody wants to take the time to train the dog to stand with all four legs properly. And that's the most important thing.
Okay. Here, concerning about what you have seen so far, how can you describe our dogs, our breeds here?
Well, the dogs that I've seen so far, I would say are very good. Naturally, this is a small country. There are not a lot of people that are involved. So you have a limited amount of exposure. But I think that the way to achieve better dogs is to know what a good one looks like. You have to know whether the judge has put up a dog that's better than yours or not as good. But the only way you know that is by learning about the breeds. You know what I'm saying? Because like a Shar-Pei is not built like a boxer. It calls for a completely different top line, calls for a different stifle. The same thing with the Chow. I saw the best Chow I have ever seen in my life, and I've judged the Chow National in America 5 times, was in Croatia. The man never touched the dog. The dog had the most beautiful bone, perfect front, beautiful stifle, straight the way they're supposed to be, tail right over the back, and he was an absolute square, which is very hard to achieve because most of the Chows in America are too long and too low.
A lot of work involved there. When you first look down the line, what do you observe in a dog?
For me, the dog that comes closest to having the correct balance and proportion for its breed, those are the ones that catch my eye right away. And then it depends on how they deport themselves and how they move.
Do you consider most important to observe the dog or to examine by touching?
Well, you have to examine them, but you can almost pick the ones you like as they walk in the ring, that it's going to be close between.
Do you think the showmanship and presentation should or should not be considered in the ring?
Showmanship and presentation should be considered only between good dogs. Now, if you have 3 beautiful dogs, and then you have to find some way of separating it, naturally, it's like a dancer. If a dancer comes onto the stage and says, "Look at me," that's what your eye's going to go to. And dogs are the same way. They have to have the character so that when they walk in, your eye is drawn to them.
Nice. What advice would you give to our handlers?
To all handlers?
Yes.
To find a dog that they like very much, that they can do well with. And then handling is more than just walking in the ring. You have to feed the dog properly. You have to make sure its mental attitude is correct. And you have to make sure that it gets enough exercise and isn't just a bundle of mush that lays on the couch. Dogs have got to have muscle, they have to be toned, and their temperament comes from the more that somebody handles them.
And they also should train very well the eye to observe which is the best in a breed. I mean, how can I say? How to select the right dog. How to select the proper dog to them.
Ah, well, that's a talent in itself. And sometimes you can select. I mean, I would have bought that chow in Croatia, but it wasn't for sale.
Was amazing.
Yeah, but I could have won the world with it.
I read in a website that you have a very good experience in a show in Japan. What can you tell me about that?
Oh, I'd love to judge in Japan.
Yes?
The Japanese have wonderful. I'm making my 30th trip to Japan in November.
And it's beautiful.
Ah,
Very professional.
and the dogs are gorgeous.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
Okay, okay. What do you think a professional handler should never attempt in the ring? What kind of attitudes bothers you?
Well, you know what bothers me? I hate when a handler tries to draw pictures for me. Like to try to show me that it's got the best head or a level top line. I say, you know what? I'm not blind. I can see. You don't have to draw a picture for me. If it's there, I'll find it. But you don't have to draw pictures for me. You don't have to show me the top line 20 times and show me the back skull, or in a poodle push the top knot back so I can see what the head looks like. I have eyes, I can see.
In these days, we are celebrating the admittance of our first Chilean breed. What is your appreciation about new breeds being accepted?
I think if people are interested in the breed, then new breeds should be accepted. The only thing that I think is a problem is there are a lot of new breeds that are coming in that most people won't be able to enjoy as pets.
Okay.
And I think that's going to be a problem because I don't think numerically they will be popular. But some of them have been. I mean, look at the dog, the Bordeaux. In no time flat, it's become a very big entry in America.
And finally, Mr. Sabella, what do you most enjoy about judging?
The thing I enjoy about judging is I get to travel. I get to meet some of the nicest people in the world. And I get to see some of the most beautiful dogs in the world. And for me, that's the kicker. I mean, the pleasure in judging is if you see a dog that makes your hair stand up. That's what the kicker is.
And by the way, which is your favorite breed?
If I could own one dog,
Yes.
it would be a greyhound.
A greyhound.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And do you own dogs?
No, when I had somebody that lived with me and I had a place, a property to let them run, I had 4 of them. But now I live in a condominium. I'm never home, so I always travel.